Hi guys, in this video we're going to try and explain as best as we can how 12V Watermaker works. We'll use our new Osmosea, the new 12 S25, to sort of show you the components, how they're connected together, and explain how it all works.
So a watermaker makes water drinkable by a process called reverse osmosis, so they're normally referred to as RO watermakers. Reverse osmosis is a water treatment process that removes the salt, all the other impurities, bacteria, etc. from the water. It does this using a semi-permeable membrane, which is in this bit here, and it does that at high pressure using a pump. So any salt contaminants or any other molecules are flushed away, leaving pure H2O drinking water.
So older generation watermakers used to have really high pressure pumps in order to generate the 56 bars required to produce reverse osmosis. However, new watermakers, so new generation like this one, they can operate on a lower pressure pump, and they can compensate for the remaining pressure required via hydraulics. This means that new generation models need less energy to operate and less space, so they're a lot more compact. So this is our new watermaker. This Osmosea model is a new generation watermaker. It's 12 volts and it produces 25 litres of water per hour. This means that we can run it off our batteries and our solar a couple of hours a day without needing to run the engine or anything like that.
Or buy a generator.
Oh yeah, we don't really want to buy a generator, so that's a great plus about the 12 volts, 25 litres per hour sort of system. Of course, there's bigger and more powerful models which can produce 60 to 100 litres per hour, but we'd rather keep it small and simple as usual.
So in terms of the main seawater to freshwater system, it starts here. This is a through hull which comes supplied with the unit. It then goes through this seawater strainer, which is the same as, or similar to a seawater strainer like you'd have on an engine. So it just removes like seaweed and gunk and anything that gets in there, and then you can take that filter out and wash it. And then it goes through a non-return valve into the pump. This is the 10 amp 150 psi or 34 bar pump, which provides some of the pressure. And then from there it goes through this pre-filter, which just filters out any other debris before it goes into the main unit. This has also got a pressure gauge, and that just tells you whether the pump and the filters are all working fine. So on the main unit, the top part is a pressure intensifier, which works through some sort of magic. And then the water goes into the reverse osmosis membrane, where the seawater under pressure of about 800 psi is turned into fresh water. All the salt, the extra salty water, comes out of this drain and that goes out overboard, and then the fresh water comes out of here, and then you plumb that into your main water tank. So the flushing system then runs mainly through this. This is the carbon filter, and a carbon filter removes chlorine, which is quite important. You don't want chlorine running through your water maker, and most like city water supplies have chlorine in them. So if sometimes you fill up your boat tank from the marina, say, or from a fuel dock water system, then you'll need something like this to flush that chlorine out, or to filter that chlorine out, before you can then flush it through your water maker. So this is pressurized through the boat's pressure water system. So we run that after we've run the desalination, and that just clears out all of the seawater that's left in the pump and also in the main unit, because you don't want seawater sat in your membrane or even in the pump really, because obviously seawater contains lots of little animals and stuff, plankton
Funny
or whatever,
creatures.
little creatures which can grow and attach themselves to things.
How much does a watermaker cost? Usually they range between $2,000 to $8,000. And this one was around $4,000, and it's kind of in the middle, but as you can see, each component is really well made, and all the stainless is 316, and we're really impressed with the quality for the amount, because it's kind of on the budget side.
Like with everything on a boat, there's a little bit of maintenance involved in having a watermaker. If you need to leave it for more than 3 days, without generating any water, so without any water going through the watermaker, then you have to flush the system. And on our watermaker that's super easy, it's just a case of pressing a couple of buttons and then it flushes using the fresh water already in the tank. If you need to leave the watermaker for more than 10 days, then you have to preserve the membrane, just to make sure that no mould or bacteria just grow inside the membrane itself.
That applies to this model. Other models sometimes require flushing every time you use it, so after each use. Another bit of maintenance that you need to do is to change the pre-filter and the flushing filter as required, and every 5 to 10 years you'll have to also change the membrane. If you want to find out how to install a watermaker, check out our next video, which will go live on Monday, and you can watch us install this model on our boat Skua. Once it's live, we'll also link it up here. We hope this short video gives you a good overview of how Watermaker works. If you are interested in the science behind all of this, we'll link a few resources in the video description so that you can get really geeky on it.
Catch us on Monday, where our video will show how we install this watermaker.
See you!